Today is January 21st, 2018, and this is your daily episode blog number 12. Today we are at $8,100. We have dipped below the 8,000 mark here at $7,914, but we're looking okay. The currencies that I have right now, they're just doing fine. I'm negative in Oyster Pearl, IOTA. Still, it's the same thing with the Binance. I should have put in USD Tether, but I am not comfortable putting in USD Tether at the moment. I really should be using USD Tether because if I am expecting a bearish market, I should be putting in USD Tether. And I understand they're printing money and there's a lot of problems associated with it. However, I should be able to use it now. Because if USD Tether ever crashes, the whole market's going to just crash significantly based upon that. So if USD Tether ever goes away from cryptocurrency in general, I think that's when the market is going to have a significant crash and sort of blow up in its face. Right now, what I really do want to talk about is proof of stake type of currencies, and I've been looking at a lot of YouTube videos of people buying certain currencies for their interest gains, especially this one, Syndicate. Syndicate has a very good interest rate. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but based upon the results of one individual, he gained a lot of value, and it's ranked in the 400th range. So to become a master node, it's not that expensive, maybe $2,000, and you could gain a significant amount of interest back. I think this gentleman had maybe less than $500 worth, but he was getting $20 returns, and it seemed like quite a bit of chunk of change. However, I don't like Syndicate's website and sort of their non-existing roadmap. It just seems like a currency with inflation associated with it. They're trying to get more people involved. However, I don't see any team members. I don't see anything. So this is a reason why I don't like Syndicate. It seems like sort of a scheme just to get people to invest in POS and gain interest on their currency. And yeah, it's sort of weird. So it's POS type of currency seems almost like a Ponzi scheme, but it isn't. It's a proof of stake scheme if you really think about it. But there's players out there like Neo that have really good platforms, and they provide a whole bunch of other things, as well as being a proof of stake type of currency or security or asset. We don't know yet. I mean, it's so hard to say these things. Navcoin is going into that. Navcoin is going into being just a proof of stake currency into also a platform. So I'm very interested in it. If you look at the roadmap, they're planning on doing Lightning Network, which I really don't know much about. I know what Lightning Network is on the Bitcoin. Well, what does Lightning Network mean under Nav? Cold staking, which Neo is already doing, where you don't have to be staking your whole entire portfolio or your Nav coins or Neo coins. You gain interest no matter what. Okay. Currently, with proof of stake, you are doing some work on your computer to make sure that the transaction is validated in this consensus algorithm. So cold staking, I don't know exactly how they're going to achieve that. Maybe there's enough master nodes to handle all the weight. If you're doing not cold staking, but actually staking your coins out there on a device, maybe you get more interest back. So I don't know how cold staking is going to play out with Navcoin. Then the really interesting thing for me is the balance. Is going to be their platform. So it's going to be a blockchain application platform where developers could build on top of the Navcoin. Another quick thing about Navcoin is it already has about 10,000 Reddit followers, and I think on CoinMarketCap it's in the 120th rankings. So also their team, really, I can't dig up too much information. I looked at every single member of their team, and you know, they have bachelors. Not saying that you need a PhD, but it would be nice to have some scientists on your blockchain platform. just like how Stellar Lumens has it. Same with probably Neo. I know Zilliqa does as well. They have some really, really smart people with credentials to back it up. However, Navcoin doesn't seem to have it, or they just don't have the exposure on LinkedIn. Personally, I'd like to see more of that. So I am a little bit hesitant investing in Navcoin, even though I feel like it's a good investment right now. They've released a roadmap about their platform technology about 6 days ago, and I'm leaning slightly towards it, and it could be a potential that hits in the top 50 in the market cap. So there could be potential earnings here. Now, the big thing is I feel like everything's a bubble, so what bubble risk are you willing to take, right? So they give out 5% interest, just FYI for everyone else. Lastly, but not least, I wanted to thank Quiet Wayne for this question, and let me just read it. And it says, do you think it's possible to have currency that are deflationary like most cryptos are? Why won't they continue to be assets? Even if the price becomes more stable, that what prevents it from being used as leverage loans collateral? It seems inflationary currency actually promotes base level commerce. And I couldn't agree with this more, and I don't know the answers associated with it. But it really sort of rethought of how I think of cryptocurrencies in general and mass adoption. So if we want to look at the future of the world and sort of think, how does Roblox become adopted in the whole world? Well, it has zero inflation associated with it. So if anything, Roblox will be worth more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And it will continue that trend forever, right? Because there's a finite amount of Roblox. So then why would I invest in anything else? So, and that's bad for the economy. So let me just go ahead and bring this up. And these are the key points I sort of thought of. And please correct me if I'm wrong in any of this. But coins that do not have inflations become security or assets and not truly a currency. Why do currencies today have inflation? Well, one of the big elements why there's inflation in current currency is that it promotes you to spend that money instead of just holding it, okay? It promotes you to be using that cash because it won't be worth the same amount 10 years later. So if you, let me just go ahead and read it. Inflation is necessary to increase spending. If you keep the money you have, it is not worth as much. If you use the money you have now, it is worth a lot more than 10 years later, right? In essence, it creates more demands in goods and services so that the person that's making that TV is getting paid to build that TV because there's more buyers out there. Inflation in a way helps out the economy, which now comes to Railblocks or Ryblocks. XRB cannot be true currency for mass adoption, and I really never thought of it that way. Once XRB is used as a payment system for the whole world, it becomes an asset. It gains in value. It will never help out promoting the economy because holding the XRB has more wealth. And then it will create a stagnant economy. And I don't know how I really need to look into everything, but having inflation in cryptocurrency, just like the real world today with the USD dollar, with the yen, with any other currency, is a necessary evil that we need. So if XRB cannot be a true currency for mass adoption, why am I invested into it? If anything, it's an asset. And I'm hoping people buy more of it just purely based on it being an asset. I can't buy anything with it. Man, these questions are just bubble. And it just makes me feel more uncomfortable about the cryptocurrency market day by day as I do more research. However, the technology that is there in the cryptocurrency market, the technology that they're building is a beautiful piece of work where they will be able to take care of real world situations and real world problems. And the money that's coming into the blockchain is helping that development significantly. So I believe in blockchain. So that is the reason why I'm invested. But more and more I think about it, it's really bubbling up a lot. So that's my 2 cents of the day. Thank you again, Kwai Wing, for your question and comment. That was really nice. And that concludes the video. Hey, thanks. Please subscribe, comment, and thumbs up. If you can, just please question or comment, and I'll review it on my next video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.